to infinity and beyond.
On to our next topic for this episode. So we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just a TellTale game, which is going to be coming out in April. But we've kind of got a little bit more information on that. It actually popped up on the PlayStation Store for a pre-order, which is going to be coming out on April the 18th. You can pre-order it now. If you pretty much pre-order it up to the day before the release, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you'll get 20% off. So that's pretty good. And then there's gonna be 5 episodes. First episode will be included in that on there. They haven't announced any details of this one. Kind of crept through on the radar really of it just appeared on the PlayStation Store, which is a pretty much good confirmation of release. We knew it was coming out in spring because it was in a Guardians of the Galaxy press release from a few weeks ago that it was coming out. The movie's coming out in a few weeks. Guardians of the Galaxy is everywhere. So no, that was kind of like a quick thing really. They haven't even really confirmed what platforms. It's just consoles, PC, and mobile. So pretty sure it's going to be on most Xbox One, PlayStation 4. It wouldn't surprise me if it's on the Vita. If it's on mobile devices, it could be easily on iPad, Android, PC. Whether or not it's on PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, I wouldn't be surprised if they skip them, but they would probably put them on there too. And then there's the Switch version. Apparently there is reports on some European websites that there's that one and also the Batman game are coming up on, because there will be a disc version to do the download. I'm sure with Switch it'll probably just be digital because it's not going to be worth the effort.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is actually the kind of game that would probably do pretty well on a Switch, honestly. The TellTale games in general. Just the ability to take them portably. They're more casual games. Yeah. They're a lot more QuickTime events, a lot more decision making rather than actual gameplay. So that makes sense for this. But certainly I'm excited for it. I've been a Guardians of the Galaxy fan since before it was cool. Hashtag hipster moment. I've been reading the Guardians since the Annihilation Saga, which was in the early 2000s. Great read, but it's completely different take on the Guardians than what people are familiar with. Same characters, very different interpretations of them. Yeah. It wasn't until the movie came out that we got the versions that we know today. But it's interesting. I'm looking at some of the promo art for Guardians right now, and it looks like they're actually drawing from several different sources, at least in the designs. There's a team shot. It's the traditional movie shot. They've got Rocket and Groot and all them. Rocket looks like he's from the comic books. Groot looks like he's from the animated TV show. Star-Lord looks like he's from the movie. Gamora and Drax both look like they're from the comic books. Yeah. So they're kind of mixing a lot of stuff up there. It's very weird.
I mean, I'm looking for this because having never played a TellTale game, I'm coming into this totally blind. So I'm liking the idea of 5 episodes, and I was also, what's normally an episode of like the previous ones? 2 hours, 3 hours?
Traditionally, they've been about 2 hours long, but in more recent years, it's been the first episode is 2 hours, and then the following ones have been 1 hour long. Probably just because increasing amounts of technical requirements for them and so on. And also, we've had some very inconsistent release dates. Like the most recent Walking Dead, it released last year, or maybe very early this year. I can't remember anymore, but the third episode of that, which is actually the first release since it launched, comes out yesterday by the time people have heard this podcast, or since it's gone live. And that's 3 months between episode 2 and episode 3, which is longer than we're used to. Normally it's 1 episode per month, per 2 months, give or take.
I think I got them as part of my Xbox Live with Gold. Not number 3, I think number 1 and 2. I haven't played them. But it's kind of, I think, interesting. And then we were talking about earlier, obviously the problems with Kingdom Hearts at the time. Actually, if, a new episode drops in and I can play it in one sitting, one evening, that's actually more appealing to me. And I think the price-wise, £15, £16, $20 for 5 hour, 5. So even if we said 5 1 hour experiences, that's still cheaper than buying a Blu-ray or a movie and stuff. So I'm kind of interested in this. I want to see how it works, how it runs. I still haven't decided if it's going to be Switch or PlayStation. If it's that short, I might just go for PlayStation because I think it'll probably be cheaper. And it's not really going to... I don't know necessarily if it's got a lot of replay value. It's hard to know on that. as I've not played them. But I'm willing to give it a go, willing to try it. I've been meaning to. I was been tempted with the Batman one in the past, but so no, it should be pretty fun. And I almost now feel like I'll just leave the, if I like the experience, and I'll jump into some of their other games and see if I like it. But it might actually be exactly what we. And sometimes you need these short ones, especially for us older sort of gamers. You know, these 30-hour experiences. Sometimes a 1-2 hour experience actually is better for us.
Mm-hmm. I like being able to just be able to say I can start this game right now and I can finish it in one sitting, or even like 2 or 3 sittings. I'm perfectly fine with that. People complain like about, say, the Call of Duty campaign length, and I'm like, no, 6-hour campaign sounds pretty good to me right now. Which isn't to say I'm not loving like the Mass Effect Andromeda 20 to 30-hour campaign, but yeah, the TellTale games I'm totally down with. An hour, 2-hour experience, and then waiting for episode 2 or 3 or 4 to come out.
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm expecting over the next week or two, if they were only 18th, we're only 3-4 weeks away. It wouldn't surprise me if you start seeing some actual gameplay footage and stuff when it comes out. They're going to be starting to rum up the jungle drums on them to kind of get them going. But also, if they got 4 episodes afterwards, they can spread it out a little bit. I mean, monthly would be nice because then it'll be all done by the summer. But if it was every 2 months. I wouldn't. That'd be quite nice, you know. It would be end of the year before we get to the end. If it's not connected to the movie, it doesn't really matter.
Right, and I like the way they're doing that. Is that obviously you're trying to tie in on the movie. It's using the same logo and stuff like that, but it's not retelling the movie. It's not telling a side story. There's like, we're in our own continuity. We can do whatever the heck we want. Let's just do that. Ideally, you know, they'd launch it on April 18th, and then they would have the next episode out a couple weeks later when the movie itself launches.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to pull that off, but that'd be pretty awesome because then you've got the synergy of both, it's already available and we're updating it.
Unless they've actually done the thing of all 5 episodes are done in the can and they've just got to fire them out. But, yeah. It doesn't.
Not based on their history.
No.
But yeah, I'll be getting this for PC, almost certainly. That'll be the platform. That's the one I did for most of them. But the great thing about the TellTale games is really doesn't matter what platform you get them on. They run pretty much similarly across platforms. You can get them on mobile devices and they'll play fine on mobile devices. I'm sure the Switch version will be very good, and this is the kind of game that portability might work out pretty well for you. So
yeah, I think it might just literally just come down to cost day one. If I get hit with the Switch tax, I'll go PlayStation 4. That'll probably be the way I run. And that kind of seems to be a standard thing. But no, okay, I think that's going to wrap up this topic.